Hi, welcome to Healthy Kingston. I'm Janet Wade, your host. We're taping this program on May 26th, 2 days following a mass shooting at an elementary school right outside of San Antonio, Texas. I know this is disturbing to all of us, and we were able to do a Healthy Kingston program back about 18 months ago. It was the 10th episode, and it was an interview on gun safety. And Kathleen Berry, who is the director of the South Shore group Mothers Demand Action Against Gun Violence, was interviewed, as well as Detective Mike Sclavera, who is a firearms expert with the Kingston Fire Department. That program is going to be shown in conjunction with this program during the month of June. They mentioned some excellent information on gun safety and what we need to do to protect our children and ourselves and our community. So please be on the lookout for that. Our first guest is Regina Franklin. She is a registered nurse, known by a number of us locally as Gina. And she comes to us with a wealth of experience. She's been a registered nurse since 1974, and she's worked in intensive care, coronary care, and the recovery room, the emergency room. And for the last 20 years, she has focused in the area of ophthalmology. And for the last 10 years, she's been a surgical nurse, followed by being a supervisor and then a nursing director of a surgical center in the Boston area. So obviously she comes to us with a wealth of experience about eye health and what we should be considering as issues with our eyes as we get older. So with that, Gina, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And first off, I'd like to ask you, what is eye health?
Eye health is a fairly new term that they're using to try and encourage people to take care of their eyes. A lot of people don't acknowledge their eyes until all of a sudden they have trouble seeing. Eye exams yearly are a very important part of eye health. Also, a healthy diet, eating a lot of green vegetables, give you all the things necessary to maintain a healthy eye. And also knowing your medical history as far as anyone in your family that has had any issues with their eyes. Diabetic neuropathy, retinopathy is something that needs to be followed up if it's in your family history and if you are a diabetic. Cataracts, something that develops as we get older that really can't totally be prevented, but should be observed and watched until they're at the point that they need to be removed and an implant put in. Okay. Also, wearing sunglasses is something that is really important in maintaining the health of the retina or the back of the eye. A lot of people, as they get older, get macular degeneration, and sometimes it's common in people that don't wear sunglasses. It is very common in fishermen because they get a double reflection of the sun down and the sun up from the ocean if they're not wearing sunglasses. And the other part of eye health is protective eyewear. Should you be working with any machinery, woodworking machinery, that you're wearing eye protective goggles to protect your eye at all times.
Great. When should people, starting with children on up, you mentioned annual eye exams. When do you think parents should start having their children's eyes examined?
Well, in the public school system, I was a Kingston elementary school nurse for 10 years, and we did do eye exams yearly on all of the children. And the school nurse would notify you if they had any concerns, and also if your child is voicing that they need to be in the front of the room, they're having difficulty seeing the board. And also if the family history shows that both the mother and the father wear glasses, that this is something that could be passed down, and a child would need to be, watched and examined.
Right. And I have to say, even from my own experience, one of my sons, he wasn't mentioning headaches or having difficulty seeing, but it was picked up by the school nurse in the vision testing that he needed glasses. So you have to be aware of that. Sometimes you don't get any indications from your children. So
Right, they won't tell you where
they
you
won't tell
trouble
you.
seeing the board.
Right, exactly. So what I would like you to do, we're going to have a diagram put on the screen of the eye. If you could just go through, because a lot of this will make more sense to people if they can envision what you're talking about. So just the
Okay.
major structure of the eye.
The eye is composed of two chambers, the anterior, which is the front chamber, and the posterior, which is the back chamber. The front chamber consists of your cornea, your iris, which is the colored part of your eye, and your lens, which is the part of your eye which will eventually develop into a cataract as you get older. The back of the eye is where the image is projected onto the retina, which is the lining inside the back of the eye. The back of the eye is full of a fluid that helps transpose the image onto the retina so that you're able to see it through the optic nerve in the back of your eye.
Okay, thank you. That makes it a little clearer, literally and figuratively. Anyway, being that you've gone over how to prevent, what eye health is, how to prevent having issues with your eyes. Certainly as we get older, there are a number of us, me included, that start to develop problems with our eyes. And I'd like to address some of those. So first off, cataracts.
So cataract is the lens in your eye that helps focus, almost like a camera lens. It'll focus the image coming through your eye onto the back of the retina. And that lens moves back and forth and helps develop a perfect image on the back of your eye. If as we get older, the muscles that help that lens move back and forth become stiffer like the rest of our bodies, and results in the fact that a lot of us need reading glasses because we have difficulty focusing because the lens isn't focusing as well on small images. Also, as we get older, the lens will become opaque and white and with difficulty to see through it. And a lot of people will say, I think I need a new eyeglass prescription, or I think I need glasses I never did before. And that is because the lens in their eye has become opaque and they're not able to see the image on the back of their eye. Very common with aging. Some people get them younger if it's a result of trauma. If a kid is hit in the eye with a stick at a young age, he could develop cataracts by the time he's 18 or 19. And some babies are born with cataracts that need to be removed in infancy.
Okay.
Another thing that develops with age, as I said before, is macular degeneration, which is where the retina, part of the retina degenerates and fills with fluid, affecting the central vision of your eye. And protection for that, like I said, would be sunglasses to help protect the retina from overstimulation of bright lights. And people will start to notice a black dot in the center of their vision, or they could notice some black floating things around, or wrinkles, or uneven vision would mean that there was a concern over the retina.
Is there something that can be done for that?
For macular degeneration, right now they've been, the studies in all of the doctors are working very hard at not improving macular degeneration, but preventing it from getting worse with injections that help protect the retina. And most of these people get these injections monthly into their eye, and it stabilizes the macular degeneration so that it does not get worse. But as it progresses, the black little dot in the center gets larger and larger. But studies and implantations of retinal cells are ongoing all over the country to help treat and prevent macular degeneration.
Okay. And then lastly, glaucoma, which has to do with the pressure in your eye. And if you could speak to that.
Glaucoma, I describe it as the faucet is on, but the drain is plugged. The front of your eye, the fluid in the front of your eye is constantly being regenerated, and It also drains out and keeps the cornea moist and provides nutrients to the cornea. If some of those holes are blocked and not draining well, the pressure inside your eye will increase, causing glaucoma. And there are multiple ways to open up those drains, starting with eye drops. And glaucoma sometimes has a family history. If you know someone in your family that's had glaucoma issues, a lot of times it can run in the family. And a lot of times just using your eye drops as ordered, which is so important, that if a doctor orders these eye drops for glaucoma, because the more pressure that builds up in your eye, the more damage that can be done in the long term to your vision. And then there's also treatments like lasers, and then there's different surgical treatments that they use if the other treatments aren't working, to open up the drainage. And the drainage is located around that colored part of the eye, the iris. And they want to just open that drainage so that the fluid is constantly circulating within the eye.
Wonderful. So what would the takeaways generally be then for people, again, regarding eye health and how to prevent some of these issues from happening, or how to be aware that there might be a possibility, and to make sure you get your annual checkups?
The takeaway would be to protect your eye against any kind of damage with protective glasses, sunglasses. Eat healthy. I mean, a healthy diet is good for everything, and healthy greens are very good for vitamins in your eye. And if you notice any concerns, or if you have any kind of family history, you should be getting yearly eye exams, especially as we get older, to detect the formation of a glaucoma or a cataract.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Very valuable
you.
information we can all learn from, regardless of our age. Okay, thank you, Gina.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce, again, a common name in Kingston, very well known, Sue Woodworth, who's the director of the Recreation Department, and she's going to be telling us about what the summer programs are for children primarily, but also adults this summer. So, Sue.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate this. And first, also, I would like to thank our community. We had a great event at our annual town meeting. We have a playground in town that is over 18 years old, and we are having the opportunity to replace that with our support from our community members. So thank you for that. That project will start sometime in the late fall. So we'll try to share information as that comes along. But with regard to our summer programming, we have been doing a lot of work. I'll have to say, my colleague Debbie Doherty, we've both been working here for just about 24 years. So we make quite a team. It's been a good effort, and a lot of programs that she's coordinated and have underway. We have our standard summer program. It's called Cataract Connect, morning program and an afternoon program for children in kindergarten through 8th grade. Some of the weeks already are full up, but some we still have space available. So we have a morning program, which runs from 8:30 to 11:30. And then if your kiddos like to sleep in and relax in the morning because it's summer, but then by the afternoon, they're trying to find things to do, we have another program that runs from 1 to 4. So it kind of fits a little different groups for people with different families. We're doing some middle school and high school programs, field hockey clinics. We're doing a horsemanship program. We're doing a Kingston Youth Track program, a lot of art programs. We've got some great artists in town that are doing some youth programs as well as adult programs. We're actually having tomorrow night a candle class for adult candle making. So all kinds of different things with soy candles and things like that. We have started line dancing. There's another section that starts up fairly soon. That's very popular. I think 40 people signed up for the last one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's been great. We are also doing pickleball, which has been a hot thing for us for the last few years. So we have, well, I don't know, probably 80 people that play our pickleball program down at Grays Beach Park in the summertime. So that's great for them. The other things that we're doing, again, for adults, we're going to be doing some our adult program is a little bit less in the summertime, but we do yoga, a lot of yoga classes. We'll be offering yoga at Grays Beach Park. So that's a great thing for the community in the summertime. The other thing about Grays Beach Park, we're having some phenomenal community events this year. We have music nights. There's probably 2, I think we have scheduled between now to a month between now and August. Those are on Tuesday evenings, and they start either at 6 or 6:30. So those are great. lots of different kinds of music. The other thing we're doing down there are movie nights. We have 3 movie nights scheduled, one in June, one July, and one August. And then we also are doing some great farmers markets down there that are coordinated with a local Kingston farmers market organization. They had their first one beginning of May. It's usually the first Sunday of the month, and that will go through, we think, October and November. And those have been really, really well received. So that's great. The only thing about Grays Beach Park is you do need to have a sticker there if you're going to be going to that property. Resident stickers are still on sale, non-residents. Unfortunately, I guess we sold out fairly quickly, so it's a really popular place. The community events you do not need a sticker for, so anybody can attend those. So those are just a few of the things that we have going on. As far as the operations down at Grays Beach, it is open 7 days a week. We are not sure about our lifeguard situation again this year. Unfortunately, we have had quite a shortage across the country in lifeguards. And so last year we weren't able to staff it. And unfortunately it looks the same for this year. I have not received any applicants to date. And so I know there are some places that you can take lifeguard training classes through the Red Cross or the Kingsbury Club here in Kingston. But at this point, we may have to just put up our sign again and say no lifeguards on duty. We will have park staff available at the gate to check stickers. And then the park is basically open from dawn to dusk. It does close at dusk because there's no lights down there unless we have our special events going on. So those are a few of the programs that we have going on. But again, if you want to find out what else we're doing, in case I forgot anything, our website is Kingston Rec. So it's kingstonrec.com. And you can just click on our program page, and it's a little overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. There's so many things being offered. So there's lots of good stuff for our community.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Kingston's the place to be this summer. There's a lot going on for children and
We have a lot of
adults.
things.
That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
Wow.
There is actually one other one. I don't want to be remiss. I'm just looking at my notes that there is a flag football tournament that's being held. It's actually called Bendeshi's Village. There's a young gentleman in Kingston who is a Silver Lake High School student who actually was adopted, and he is looking to give back to the community that he was born in Africa, I believe. And I apologize if that's not the correct country, but he has coordinated Bendeshi's Village, and he's having this fundraiser tournament on June 11th. And again, that's on our website as well. Great opportunity to get involved and to give back. And it has a little bit more history about him as well. So I did want to mention that.
Terrific. Thank you. I wanted to give an update from Leanne McGinnis, our public health nurse. This is as of, again, today, May 26th, that we have 96 cases of COVID in the town. So that, again, everyone needs to be aware that the cases are going up, and that if you have an autoimmune disease, if you have any underlying health problems, seniors, you may want to consider wearing a mask, particularly in crowded areas in which you're going, stores and the like. So just want to make everyone aware of that. There are COVID vaccination clinics. We have at least 2 a month. If you go to the town website, to the Board of Health, they will be announced there. They're also on Wicked Local. So really no excuse if you need a booster. They're free, and strongly encourage you to take advantage of that. Lastly, the Board of Health has a health survey that they are passing out throughout town. I know if you were at the recent town meeting, Leanne McGinnis, our public health nurse, was distributing them there, also at the Council on Aging. So we'll be giving you some for the rec center and also for the library. There are only 10 questions. We're asking people to complete them to give us a better idea as to what the health concerns are, what type of health issues people are dealing with, and how we can further support you with programming in the town. So with that said, it's been a busy program. Again, Gina and Sue, thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.